Welcome to This Oughta Be Good. I'm DJ Mordecai. We got my co-host Samazon Prime in the building. What's up, Sam?
Salute.
How you doing?
We're good. We're good. Welcome to the host, Mordecai, and all the listeners and all that stuff.
Episode 13. We are joined by our special guest this week, Fro Organix. What's up, Fro?
Yo, how you doing? What's going on?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
Peace, Fro.
Good. Hey, how you doing, Sam? What's going on, brother?
I'm good. Good.
Yes, sir.
So usually I like to ask, where people were born and where did they grow up or live. So where was that for you, Fro?
Okay, so I was born in Norfolk, Virginia. And I guess, lived there for 6 months and then moved to Richmond. So I might as well say I was born and raised in Richmond, really. Born in Norfolk, raised in Richmond. After 6 months, my father moved to Richmond for a transfer for his job. So I'm really a Richmondite from Richmond.
And was your
still in?
Say it again.
Yeah, you still in Richmond?
Yes, sir. Oh yeah.
Was your dad a DJ?
He is. He's been DJing since he was 15. His dad was a DJ as well, my grandfather. So he picked it up from him, and I picked it up from my father. So 70s were some good years as far as music, man. When I was little, so Jackson 5, Curtis Mayfield, Earth, Wind and Fire. Those were the ones. A lot of jazz. He DJ'd at Norfolk State for his for the radio station doing jazz. Some partners. So we had a lot of jazz in house as well. So
that's a fine pedigree, fine musical pedigree.
Oh man, yeah, it was awesome.
For real.
What like really stood out for you, like from your dad's taste?
Just all the 70s, man. Anything 70s was great. Like say Earth, Wind and Fire and Jacksons were like the ones he played a lot. And then like say a lot of jazz. But Earth, Wind and Fire, I think probably one of my favorite groups ever. Melodic writing, the music, just everything. They're probably one of my favorite groups ever.
Peace to Sean Butters, Nicole.
John.
So
we'll talk about her in a minute. Hey, before we get off the Earth, Wind and Fire thing real quick, what's your favorite era of Earth, Wind and Fire?
Oh, probably like 74 through 76, probably.
So that's up through what? Up through Spirit? Is that about that time?
Yeah. Spirit.
I gotta say the first.
That's the way of the world. Those albums, man. Awesome.
Man, those first three albums I think are incredible. Like people when you think about Earth, Wind and Fire, people think more about the pop stuff from the late 70s and stuff like that. But man, those first few albums, they're incredible to me.
Yes, man. Some of those songs make me cry. Fantasy. On a good day, I tear up at the end of that thing, man. Just because of the music, just the energy of it, man.
I kind of lump them in a little bit with Kool and the Gang as far as being this incredible band, but once they got mainstream success, people kind of forgot about what a great like jazz like funk band, what a great like funk soul band they were originally.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have?
Not to sidetrack too much. I just wanted to touch on that.
Oh no, you good.
I was going to stay on that too because I was curious. Do you like collect records, Fro, and do you have like all their albums or?
Oh yeah. Well, I steal my dad's because he don't really play with vinyl anymore. So I go over there, I rate his vinyl, I bring it back to the house, listen. But I've been rating his vinyl ever since I was a kid, man. Ever since I started producing, I started listening to him and sampling and. So I've been rating for a minute, and I know a couple of times he went to DJ, and I had one of those records when he did do vinyl. So yeah,
we're big on like Richmond and Virginia artists and stuff. Does he have any of that on vinyl, or have you come across?
I actually collected some of that stuff. Some Ill Biscuits. Had some Dolomite stuff. Who else did I have? Of course, the Funk Boater, the things they play, Sam the Beast, Freak. I have some stuff up from Freak from back in the day. Danger Mouse.
What about like 70s bands?
The only one we had was the what was the band name? 7 Minutes of Funk.
Poison.
7 minutes of Funk. Back.
Tyrone and the whole darn family.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we have that one definitely.
Where did the name Baby Fro come from?
All right, so it was funny. That's the funny question. So I started off as a couple of names, And then I always had a fro, even when I was younger. Like I had a funny shaped head, so I always kept the fro. So it's I can't remember who's the first person to call me Baby Fro. It might have been D. It might have been Mike. It might have been because I can't remember his first person, but it said, "You got a fro all the time, man. It's small. Let's call you Baby Fro." That's all. I can't remember who first said it though. It's hilarious. Yeah, man.
It's the yeah.
When
You were
did
talking about.
Go ahead.
Let me touch on that real quick. You were talking about you name dropped a lot of like 90s like Richmond area hip hop groups. There's one that I've seen. I've got two of the records by them, and I know there's at least a third one, but I don't really know anything about them. You know a group called Dragnet? Have you heard of those guys?
Yeah, I actually had a single by them. I didn't know they were from. They're from here.
Well, they have 804 phone numbers on the label, so I assume they were.
I didn't even pay attention to that. Yeah, I have one single by them. I sure do. Oh wow.
Yeah. I was just curious, like, cause there's like if you go by the label numbers, I think there's 3 singles they put out. I've managed to find one with the black label, one with the red label. But I've got to figure there's got to be another one. I was just curious. I figured you obviously up on your Richmond stuff, so I was just curious.
Oh yeah. Shoot. When I think that was at my father's house, so I looked that up, man. I'll get back with you on that too, Sam.
Yeah, I'd be curious.
Yeah.
I'll shoot you pictures of the ones I got too.
Okay, bet.
Well, we're talking about kind of obscure Richmond hip hop groups. What was Intelligent, Deadly, but Unique? IDU.
So IDU was a group we put together. We first had a couple other names before that as well, and then my partner, the guy I started the group with, Brian Trent, he came up with the name IDU, which stands for Intelligent, Deadly, but Unique. And yeah, so we had Bomb Squad at one time. We had a couple of names. And then as we got older, I guess we needed a more intelligent name, I guess. So, yeah.
So you've been the IDU was that was a crew like you produced with, or what was the story with them?
So I'm gonna go to the very beginning, how we even started the group.
Yeah,
I was DJ, and we used to break dance as well. So there was this guy named Brian, the gentleman named Brian I told you about. He was a break dancer too. He went to Manchester. I went to Monacan. So he went to the mall one day, and Arabian Rakim were there. And when they first came to Richmond on their first tour, and this manager was there, and we were in the mall. He saw him. Then he saw me in the mall. It was me, my mom, and my dad. He came up to us and said, "Hey man, you still DJing?" And we were like, I said, "Yeah." He said, "Hey man, do you mind if we do a demo real fast? Arabian Rakim's manager wants to hear some stuff, man. Because he rhymed too. I didn't." And so my mom and dad were there. I was like, I looked at my mom and dad. My dad would say, "I don't care." So literally that day, he came to my house after the mall. Back then, I only had I used to mix with 2 tape decks. So I play a beat, then I tape deck to tape deck and go back and forth on that. And I had one turntable I scratch on top. So we did that. Wow. We did like four songs that day, and the next day he gave it to Arabian Rakim's manager, and that was the beginning of IDU.
What material did you guys end up releasing any material under the IDU name?
We did not. We went to a record label with it. That's how D got signed with that. From DeAndre got signed from that, and also he had his demo as well. So, but we did have some stuff on the radio. We had one song on the radio, and we were super amped. They played on I think it was WKIE, I believe, back in the day. And they played the one song, man, and that was basically it after that. And trying to get the deal with that stuff later on, they didn't want the whole group. They just wanted Mike, and I ended up getting signed as well. So as a producer.
Man, Drew is digging deep then, because I was you caught me off guard with that. I was like, "What's IDU?" So you must have been finding some good research material there, Mr.
Well,
Drew.
I was telling Fro, I was talking to Tyrone, big up Tyrone, Chocolate Ty Fran. And he was telling me I needed to talk to Fro and a little bit about the, his history and everything. And I was hoping to hear some stuff by IDU. And I know Fro has been kind of saying no, and I'm not totally sure why. Is that because you don't want to share it, or people have told you not to share it, or?
No, it's not that. I think the main reason is probably because D signed. You know what I'm saying? I try not to put it out there. And I don't really talk to him about that, you know, the IDU stuff. So I don't want to ask him and he'd be like, man, you shouldn't have done that. So I just don't put it out there. And I actually did put on my website for an hour one time. I said IDU for an hour, and I took it down after an hour. And I might do it again, just to, you know, a little preview. Like I told you, Mordecai, we can do it behind the scenes, man. We can do it off air. I can let you hear some stuff.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it. I mean, you know, I know there's a lot of people that would just love to hear it. You know, we're all just, you know, super geeked on hip hop, especially Richmond hip hop. And then,
no
you know, to have, you know, somebody like D'Angelo as part of the group is, you know, pretty crazy. And he actually, you know, mentioned you in his Red Bull interview.
Yes.
So how did y'all meet? How did you and D'Angelo meet?
So at the time, D was going to Manchester. Back then, he was just singing. He was singing covers and doing talent shows. And Brian, once again, he went to Manchester as well. And we're trying to get more people in our group. Basically, we added Tony Walker. He was another rapper that went to Manchester as well. His name's Mega Rocker. We added him, and then we wanted a singer, wanted somebody different. So Brian called me and said, "Hey man, that's this guy at my school. He's real dope. He's real nerdy though, but he's dope." And I was like, "Word, let me hear him." Then we met up, heard him. He was like, "Dude, you're in the group." And he was an awesome producer as well. So I produced, and he produced as well. So we produced together the IDU stuff. Brian jumped in on a couple of tracks, but D and I were mostly the producers for IDU.
Wow, D'Angelo. So was that D'Angelo's, or what? Actually, y'all just called him D back then, or like what?
We call him Mike Archer back then. His name was Mike.
So,
but he was doing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
At the time, he was doing his own stuff as well. I think he was called Mike Archer then too back then. Then when he started doing his stuff to be on the first album, he changed his name to D'Angelo. Came up with the name D'Angelo for himself.
So when he started working with you folks, that was like one of the first ventures that he had gotten into at the time. I mean, being in high school, I can't imagine he'd been up to too much by that point.
No, like I said, just talent shows. He was more of a church guy. He went to church a lot. He had a big church background, and I think that's where a lot of his talent came from the church background. And then he started coming to my house with all the records, with my father having all the records, and you know, sampling and listening, and he turned on to a lot of stuff, a lot of funk. He took on the Slides, the Funkadelics. He really took to those guys a lot when we had those records playing. And I think on this interview, he was right. Like some of the songs, when we sample, we just sample dig. And most times when we listen to the whole record, we just kind of skip. But he started wanting to listen to the whole thing, you know. So we ended up started listening to a lot of songs, just the whole records. And actually that helped me as well by listening to the whole thing as well. So
yeah, that's true. That's true though. The church background, that seems to be just a really common thread.
Oh yeah,
with a lot of soul music and funk and even just singers in general. It seems like it's just a real springboard.
Oh yeah.
What were you producing on back then?
The Sonic 16 Plus, which I still have. I still have it. Got it right here behind me. I got that in 1990. That was my first keyboard ever. Before then, I had a little drum machine. I can't remember the name of it, dude. It was like this a small drum machine, tack, you know, and we just sample. We do the drum loop, and then I just do a sample on the tape, you know, from a record. But
what are you using now today?
I use Logic right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Logic. I still use the Sonic as well because the Sonic is so warm, man. It's analog, so everything that comes out of that beast, man, is already booming.
Mm.
So I still use that.
I was actually listening, watching a thing earlier today. I think it was RZA that was talking, and he said like once you figure out, you know, what machine you're comfortable with, he said stick with it. That's one of the things he said, is that once you find something that you like, stick with it. He said like
that's right.
One of the best things for creativity is just once you get that familiar with the machine. So I mean that makes sense that you still keep that around.
Oh yeah. It's great for chopping samples, I'll tell you that, and chopping beats.
Who or what was Midnight Music?
Midnight Music was the publisher that we signed to. It was under Polygram, Jocelyn Cooper, and how we hooked up with them was this guy named Lex. He joined IDU later. He's from New York, and he joined IDU a little bit later, like about 90, probably 92. And he met one of the people that worked for Midnight Music, and that's how we actually got to have a meeting with Midnight Music. And we went up there. We had the IDU tape, and then we said, Mike, bring your stuff too. So we had this demo, which was like the brown sugar before it was brown sugar, all that stuff on there. And
I want to hear that too.
No doubt.
How did growing up in Richmond like influence like your style and career?
I don't know, man. I think we've always had our own sound, man. We've always we were reaching for something different all the time. We don't want to sound like anybody else. We try to pick samples that nobody heard. We try to chop them up back then, like so nobody knew what they were.
Mm-hmm.
Even from the beginning, it's like we didn't want to be like anybody else at all.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share like some memorable experiences from like your early days as a DJ and like I guess it was like mid 80s?
Oh yeah. Father got me to DJing, so I used to go with him to DJ certain things like wedding receptions. He used to do a lot of anniversaries. He did also like school reunions. So I did some school reunions with him. And then I ended up doing Huguenot High School football games. After the football games in the gymnasium, I ended up starting to do those. And they were fun.
So back then, like at the games and stuff, you would actually have the full setup, like turntables and the mixer and everything out there.
Yeah,
like
man, speakers, records in the gym in the gymnasium, man. I used to have my friends help me. I had like 10 crates of records, the speakers, all the heavy stuff back then.
yeah.
But that was fun. I think Huguenot High School was my funnest DJing times. And as I got older, I started renting places and DJing myself. Like what was it? It was a place downtown. I used to rent. I did that twice. I just did flyers, made my own little flyers, drew them up, handed them out, and did my own parties as well.
Was there any is there any like record that you remember like really getting a big reaction to, or maybe or a hip hop show that you did like with other people that you have fond memories of?
Well, the records that we played a lot of the go-go stuff back in the day always hitting. The Trouble Funk, the DJ Cool back in the day, they hit every time you played those. Anytime you played Biz Markie, Make the Music, they hit all the time. Milk D, Top Bill and Date, that always hit. Some of my other memorable moments I had was I DJed with Tyrone a couple of times as well, some parties back in high school and after high school.
Tyrone Thomas?
Tyrone Francis.
Yeah. Tyrone Francis, yeah. DJ Chocolate Tie.
Yeah, from earlier. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, so they were fun as well. Just doing house parties, man. Oh, we had a house party. A friend of mine and that went to Monica, and he did a house party there, and that was off the chain. That was nice.
What was it like kind of developing your skills? Like, did you find yourself playing instruments as well? I see like a guitar and maybe some percussion stuff behind you. Did you like kind of build off of going from samples to playing more instruments, or how has kind of things evolved for you production wise?
I have lately. That came way later. I was still in the sampling mode, and I played keyboard. Of course, I played keyboard. But as far as instruments, I probably started happening probably about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe. I collected the first thing I collect drums mostly. Like I got congas. That was my main thing. But I bought a bass guitar at first because people would come over and they'd play it and they play stuff for me. You know what I'm saying? But then I said, I want to learn how to play some of this stuff myself. I'm still not good at guitar though. Bass, I'm getting better. Guitar, man, that thing is the beast.
So when you learned, what motivated you to learn these instruments? Is it like you could picture things that you wanted to do musically, but
yes,
you couldn't find the samples you wanted, or you wanted something cleaner than what you could find, or like what inspired you the most to do that?
Some of it was hearing stuff in my head, being original. Some of it was trying to replay some stuff, but it sounded better live, I think. But most of it was a lot of it was doing original stuff. Like I hear stuff in my head, I want to play it. So I would try to play it, and I play a little bit, and I get somebody else to come over and play it a little bit better than I can play it.
What roles did like Brian Trent and you said it was Tony Megaraka Walker, right? Play in IDU Productions? Like, were they rapping or producing as well, or
they were rapping? They were rapping. Brian produced a little bit with us, but he was mostly the rapper. He was also the brains of the operation, I say, because him and I both started the group, but he was the one that did all the organizing, meeting different people, setting up studio time and stuff. He was the main guy to do that as well. But he was a rapper, and Megaraka was just rapping as well.
We started off talking a little bit about 12 inches, especially like Richmond hip hop. Were there any groups that you ended up kind of intersecting with or collaborating with or doing shows with, or that you looked to as like kind of inspiration? Or
Clef Dollars was one of the guys. He was a big inspiration. We became good friends. Some cats out in Petersburg, Rostar, passed away.
Rostar Charisma.
Well, yep. Rostar Charisma, yep. From Petersburg. And that was really about it. There's a group called the First Sons back in the day. Rick, we did some stuff. Funkaholics, remember Funkaholics?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
First Sons I'm familiar with through Jay Quan.
Yep.
And Clef, we're big fans of him, and he's come up in conversations a few times in the podcast. Planning to talk to Trina and JD about God's Morning Foundation, I think later in August. But tell some more about, sorry, what'd you say it was, Funkaholics?
Funkaholics.
We'd love to hear more about them.
Oh yeah.
That's a dope name.
Yeah, they had some dope stuff, man. They put two songs, one single out, and then they put a cassette tape out. And mad different, man. Mad different.
This is like early 90s, mid 90s, like when
this was probably like 93, 94, 95, around that time.
Okay, yeah.
Right in our sweet spot.
Right, exactly.
Did you create the Hip Hop Expo in Richmond?
I did. What
was the inspiration behind that?
Just trying to bring people together, basically. I've always wanted to bring people together, man. I've always said Richmond is a mecca of music and talent, and if everybody came together, we could have been like in Atlanta or New York. So my whole thing was bringing people together, showcasing other people's talent as well as our talent as well. And they weren't really nobody was really doing any showcases back then, and everybody was doing individual shows from time to time. But I felt like if we can bring an expo and just have many groups and support each other, we could have did something. So I did two of those. I did one in 97, one in 98.
So around that time, like, who would have been the headliners? Like, who was the main attraction for the Richmond Hip Hop Expo?
Oh, well,
97, 98.
Of course it's going to be our groups, but as Rostar came out. We had a guy named him over there. He performed. We had some cats from that was one of the songs. We had a group called Junipits. They were from Norfolk area. We tried to bring Norfolk into the mix as well. They were dope.
Junipers, that was they had they were females, right?
No, it was a group. It was a guy group.
Maybe Gypsies. Was Gypsies like the female group? I'm trying to think.
I don't remember them.
Was it Juniper's Elite? Was that the?
Yes. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Back in the day, Disorganized. We worked with Disorganized a little bit as well back in the day. So they were big. They were a big influence as well as far as they created.
Disorganized Union.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Did you work with a group called Dirty Souls?
I did. Yep. That was one of D'Angelo's cousin was Marlon C. And so we started doing some production. They actually were getting signed as well. We were working on that album actually in New York. That was going to be D'Angelo's first group out of his label. It was going to be Dirty Souls. So we did 5 songs. I did 5 songs with them in the studio in Battery Studios, and then D'Angelo started doing some tracks after. So it was going to be between him and I doing tracks on the first Dirty Souls album, on his first album coming from his label.
So Dirty Souls, was that an R&B group, or was that hip hop with some singing, or what was the
That was
what was
straight hip hop.
oh yeah,
Straight.
so
Yeah.
D'Angelo wasn't even like singing on it at the time.
No, nope.
He was rapping or producing.
It's funny you say that. He did rap a little bit, though. He could rap too. That's the thing about it. I actually have a song that we did with another group called New Breed of Funk from Petersburg that he actually rapped on that stuff. So yeah.
Can you describe like your process for like creating like original like material and like what inspires you like creatively?
It just comes to me, dude. Like I don't have any kind of format. It's just whatever that day, whatever I'm feeling, whatever comes out, that's what comes out. I have a lot of stuff that are skeleton tracks per se. Might be just a drum beat, but I do have a lot of finish that just I don't even know how I did it. Like I listened to it and like that came out and it came out great, you know. So but I really don't have a format, man. I mean, I don't have whatever melody comes out, whatever drum beat comes out that day. But I try to be different. I know that. I try to be off than what the regular drum pattern is or a regular bass line. So
So would you say like with your production now, is it driven by more by like samples or things that you find, or is it more just like melodies that you picture and you like try to replay like what's in your head, or is it more like driven off things that you find? Like what's your normal like creative process?
Out of my head basically. I'm getting back into sampling now because that's why I started. I just want to see if I can get back into that a little bit, but it's mostly stuff that's in my head, man. This melodies I hear. Yeah, composing. There you go.
Indeed.
Oh yeah.
What are like some challenges like you've faced or like could be in production or in the industry or like, you know, how have you worked to like overcome them?
So like as far as production, having dry spells, man. Going to work and then you want to come home and create, and then your brain here, you have mad brain involved from the day, whatever, and you want to create. That's one thing, and that comes with just getting some sleep and waking up starting fresh. As far as the industry stuff, it's just trying to build a relationship, dude. It's like these days, a lot of people, for some reason, you try to build a relationship. I don't know if it's a trust thing of meeting new people. I'm very trustworthy until somebody shows me differently. So it's for me. I try to build a relationship with anybody. Till you show me differently. But there's been a lot of cats lately I've been trying to connect with, and I connect, but I don't get reciprocation. So it's like evidently you don't want to connect. So I'm trying to get people over that by conversation. It's just communication. That's all it is. And I think also. Social media, man, that killed a lot of person relationships because everybody wants to text. I had one guy that was a rapper, and I called him. He texted me back. Oh, just text me, man. Don't call me. I'm like, how do you have a conversation just by texting? But people, just what they do now, you know, email, text. You know, it takes the personality out of the whole conversation.
I think like with social media, like you were talking about, I think there's an element of it too, where people might be checking up on you, seeing what you're up to, but you have no idea. They might just be going to your page or going to like check out some beats you made, but you know, you're not really like engaging like you used to. Right. Like it's not like you're sitting there getting feedback on it, like playing it for them. That's the one thing I kind of like. I don't like about. I like having everything accessible, the accessibility of everything. You can hear anything at any time, but you don't get that interaction.
That's right, and not just that. Trying to push your stuff. Used to bring it out of a trunk or bring it to a club, and you have hard copies and listen to what I got and see what I got, and people buy it. And now it's so saturated. It's just a click of a button, and it's so quick. You hear it for a week, and then they're on to the next. And
it's almost like it was like the vetting process. If you actually were dedicated enough to put something out on the physical media, that was a level a lot of people couldn't get to. So now you got everybody's got Audacity and you know, Pro Tools and stuff. It can just throw stuff out there.
Yeah. And not just that. Do you notice? I know you guys have noticed, but remember back in the day when you knew something was coming out, it was like a week before they say new album's coming out, blah blah, this person, that person. You don't even know what's coming out these days till it's out. You're like, that came out. I didn't know Slum Village was coming out. The new one. I just somebody happened to send me a link and was like, hey, you check this out yet? I'm like, when did that come out? Came out last month. I'm like, I didn't know about it. I used to love that, looking at magazines or hearing radio, commercials.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
L. Cool J's new album's dropping next week, or whoever,
Man, I remember. I grew up in the Midwest. I wasn't as tuned in as you guys on the East Coast at the time, but I remember, especially in Source magazine, they'd be talking about a project. You see ads, and by the time something came out, it was just like mythical. Like the hype was built up so much.
Yeah, man.
Man, that was the best part. It's like movies, movie trailers, and they just really get you the mystery. They just get you hyped up about stuff, and then sometimes the waiting game is as much fun as the end result. But it was a whole different element to it.
Oh yeah. And I used to love
Barnacles too. Big ups to Barnacles. By the way.
Big ups to Barnacles. Cash Money and Wu-Tang, I think, they would promote upcoming albums from, members of the crews in the back or in the liner notes and stuff. What year was this picture, Fro?
What's that?
What year was this picture?
Oh my gosh. That had to be probably 90, probably 91, 90, man.
And this is your studio here?
I don't even see I only see the keyboard.
It might be cropped out.
Yeah, it gotta be, man, because that's a speaker I was using at one time because I don't have any speakers. That was a car speaker.
Where did that picture come from? How did you find that picture, Mordecai?
That was on his website. Page? Yeah, that's on
FroOrganics.com. Okay. I still haven't seen the Fro though. I was about to say something, man. He still goes by Fro. He's got the tight crop. I don't see the Fro in this picture either, right? Hey, where's the Fro? I want to see pictures of the Fro, man.
It's baby. That's why it's real short. Baby Fro.
Okay, baby Fro. All right, Fro. Okay. It's an organic Fro.
Right.
Organic or grew organically.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this Uptown remix. So can you tell us a little bit about this?
Oh yeah. Our manager at the time, Kedar Massenberg, was trying to get his work basically. So this single came up, Brandy, and he and I just put it together. Went to the studio. It was a on the spot kind of thing. We had the vocals. Went to the studio. I did the drum beat, and basically Mike did the music part of it, and put the acapella in there and mixed it down. I think it was supposed to be just a promo, but it went everywhere. It went overseas and everything. I think it actually got played overseas a little bit, but I didn't hear anything here if it got played, but I'm sure it did in different areas.
That was a pretty special era too. We were talking about the release schedules and all that kind of stuff. And the promo only remixes or the B-sides. Man, some of those were incredible.
Right.
Man, I was listening to one earlier. It's a record I just got with it's got a Beat Nuts remix, and Godfather Don has like a verse on it. It's this Lizette Melendez record, and it's like it's a record you would just like go right past it. It's just like R&B record. And they had Beat Nuts producing it, stuff like that. And it was just like a promo, only on the promo one, stuff like that. Kind of like you guys doing remixes on the Brandy singles,
Right.
Can you tell us about Boomtown?
Man, you really did your research, man.
I tried.
I love this guy. So Boomtown, my guy Kevin Suber, I met a while back. He went to UVA, and he asked me to move to California. He had a group called Boomtown that was in LA, and he reached out. He said, "Hey man, we're coming to the East Coast. Go to the studio in DC." He said, "I want to come by your crib and do some songs, man." And I said, "Sure." So crew came over. We put together probably 5, 6, or 7 songs. G Money, he's one of the producers as well and rapper. We collaborate on the production and put this project together, man. This was a great time too. That trip was wild. We stayed in DC for a week recording, and that was a wild trip. I know we had a spot on the album and we were walking around. Where were we? Georgetown, and there was this guy on the corner playing the bagpipes, and we're like, "Hey man, let's grab that guy to do an interlude." And so we literally walked up to this random guy playing the bagpipes and said, "Hey man, you want to come to the studio do an interlude for us?" He was like, "Sure." And he came in the studio. When I tell you, I've never heard bagpipes so freaking loud, man. It was in that closing space, even in the booth, it was so freaking loud.
You regretted the decision immediately.
Yeah, but it was cool though, man. We of course on the album played it real low, but it was like, oh my gosh, it was an interesting time, man. That was a fun trip.
Where can you hear this project? Because I was looking at my notes from earlier. I keep notes on the record site that I like, Skunks, where I keep track of my stuff. I had a note on this. I guess Butters raps on this project too, if I'm not mistaken.
She does.
But where could you hear this project? Because I don't think it's online anywhere.
Yeah, this was never released, man. They were trying to get a deal with this as well and release it independently, but nothing came out of it. We did get it's on a soundtrack called Running Woman. One of the songs from this, I believe, I can't remember what song is on there, but it's one song I got on Running Woman, which is sound on the soundtrack, which is I think was the international movie.
Is that like a Running Man spinoff or sequel?
No, it's called Running Woman. No, you know what?
Speaking of Butters,
yeah, one in there.
This is the one we've been waiting for. We got to bring Butters in for this one. What's up, Butters?
Hey.
Thank you for being patient.
Hey, welcome.
No problem. Hey, y'all. Hey, Fro.
What up? In the goal.
Snake
Eyes.
Opportunity.
Thanks for coming on.
What
can you tell us about? Oh wow, I've not seen that.
Is that a cassette single version?
Yeah, they got the single.
Wow, that's rare. That's rare material, right? You got a full screen that, Mordecai. I got to see that, man.
Yeah, I told him to bring props.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you about this record earlier, but I thought maybe the time was gonna be coming.
What's the? Can you throw it up one more time? There we go.
Yeah,
we got to get
there.
Guys
joint.
Wow.
Diamonds and gold with diamonds and gold on there.
Yeah.
That is entering the Samazon detective radar now. Visual.
Yeah. Hey, I went to ask you, the production on this record is bugged out.
Yeah.
It is bugged out. The Snake Eyes track is my favorite track on this. But both versions of it. Did you produce all the cuts on this? I can't remember. The two versions of Snake Eyes, the one with the like real mechanical sounding, like think, like, you know what I mean? Like the real mechanical beat. Then the other one is just like eerie.
Yeah.
But I usually play. I've actually played the I guess that's the original version. I actually played that. I have a show on WRIR every other Saturday, and I played an hour set of all female MCs, and I played Snake Eyes like the original version in the set.
Say a word. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
We people that are in underground, like indie 90s hip hop, like we like all the obscure stuff that's, because there was so much good material at the time that it was almost like more than culture could absorb at the time, I feel like. And going back and hearing it now, so much stuff just flew under the radar that was really dope. And that record, I actually found this record at Azalea Flea Market about 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh wow.
What?
And I go, anything from that era that I don't know, I'm automatically like a sponge, and I wanted to check it out. And that was a great find, because I've played that record multiple times, and I always wondered what the story was with it, because I had no idea who Butters was or Fro. So it's kind of surreal to be talking to you guys. It's a treat.
Word, man. Appreciate it.
Yes.
What's 438? What's 438? Was that like the label
too?
I was going to tell y'all that. So 438 is actually IDU and numbers. So we changed up to 438 for the label.
So like the telephone numbers on the touchpad.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I forget how I had. Gotcha. I think Barnacles and I both maybe had this record. Is there is like a Pee Wee Herman beat on there, like the Joeski?
Yeah, she hated that.
I hated it.
She hated it. I was
It wasn't my favorite.
I was aiming for radio, man. She hated that thing. She was like, dude, we gotta put that on there.
Butters, I hated it too, so don't feel bad. I was afraid to say it, so I'm glad to hear that.
Oh no, you can say it, man.
What did you use for that original version? Was that drum machine? The percussion on that?
For
on Snake Eyes, like the original version of Snake Eyes. Was that like tapped out on like a drum machine, or was that actually like that percussion sampled? Or what was that?
The original. The remix
not the one with the eerie kind of like singing throughout it. That's the remix, right? That's the remix, right? The other version. What did you use for the percussion on that? Because it just sounds wild.
I probably did it myself if I'm thinking about it.
Like on the Insonic, was it? Or like the keyboard?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, we did everything on that back then.
It's bugged out.
And then the remix that I hate to give my treats away, but that was from Spoony G's song, the actual beat from the remix.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I just threw that sample over, that eerie sample over top of it.
So like the bass line, that was like off the Spoony G.
Oh no, that's the original. The original version, that was just all me playing stuff.
But on the remix though, kind of like, I guess I call it the bass line, the like it's in the background, the melody. I don't know, maybe that's not actually the bass line, but that's like the Spoony G part maybe.
Well, the beat was the Spoony G part for the remix.
Okay.
And then the original had the in the beginning when it went.
Yeah.
That was the original. Yeah, that joint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ariella was one in the story behind Snake Eyes. Can y'all talk about that? Story
That's
behind
on you, John.
Oh. The story behind Snake Eyes. Well, as we all know, the industry comes with a lot of vultures, even when you're upcoming, even around a lot of the people that a lot of the people you grew up with or whatever. So it was sort of my way of taking a stand as a female in a male-dominated industry. And being that in 438 Entertainment, I was the only female in the beginning. So you got to imagine like 8, 9, 10 dudes. Every time I'm there, I'm the only girl. So to kind of step out, it was sort of like, I see you, I see you, whatever you think I am, because I'm female. I might not be hard. I'm supposed to be like this. I'm supposed to dress this way. I'm supposed to say this a certain way. I'm supposed to be sexy, not be who I am. It was sort of like, I see all the snake eyes watching me, and I feel all types of different energies coming from everywhere.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Tony Thompson checks in too. Big up Tony Thompson.
Tony Thompson. Tone, Ariella.
What was the reception like of this 12-inch, like when y'all dropped it?
Fro?
Sean?
Oh, it was great. Mike Street, he is a DJ on Power 92. He was the first DJ to drop this record on a Break It or Make It. Back then, they used to have a thing where you call Break It or Make It. So the song actually made it. And Snake Eyes was a bit different for me too. I was a little reluctant about the beat at first, but it kind of just grew on me. Like I said, I don't like the Pee Wee Herman version thing on there. I hated it so bad. But the reception for the single was great. And it was last year or a couple of years ago, I had a guy hit me up. I cannot think of his name. They were in Germany or somewhere overseas. And telling
might be Sam's boy.
I know. I know some people in Germany are super hardcore in the 90s hip hop.
Yes, and he hit me up, and he was like, "We've been playing this song so much, and we could never put a face with the song." And I was just humbled. I was so wild.
Yeah, that was dope.
Googled the song, so I'm looking at it. All of these YouTube pages with the single. And I see Discog, I see people selling it, and I'm just like, We never knew all of this stuff was going on. That is crazy.
Yeah,
And even
that's
interview, I had somebody hit me up about wanting to copy, and I'm like, wow, that's just crazy. All that just blew my mind. It blew my mind.
If you still had a box of your records, they probably go for, I think they're about $50 a piece. Like that's about what it costs to get a copy right now.
My own album.
Yeah, we're definitely humbled on that, man. I mean, you never know where something's going to go after years, man. You know, you put something out at the time, then you don't know how timeless it is. You know, you really don't. And that's what anything you do. I mean, just never know.
Yeah,
that was his name. Unicone.
Oh, UNIKONE, like unique one.
Unique one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I definitely know. Yeah, I think I know exactly who you're talking about.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And actually, since we're talking about that, I don't know if you guys saw the interview that we did, that Mordecai and I did, that Dita Bam came on. Dita Bam from Ill Biscuits came on.
What?
Oh, word.
Yeah, well, you could look on Mordecai's page. It's the interview with me. There's a tape that I found. It's called The Natural Order of Things. And Clef Dollars and Bear One produced it, and Dita Bam did the artwork, stuff like that. But when I put the tape online, because there wasn't anything about it, I had multiple people trying to pay multiple hundreds of dollars for it, and every single one was either like in Germany or Japan or Brazil or somewhere like that. It was just abroad.
It's funny you said that, because on my series, I'm gonna actually big up Clef and actually pull this out.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Chill Factor CD single.
Yeah.
I've never seen that artwork before. That's pretty.
Yeah, man. Nice. Had this from back in the day. On the backside, it has some writing on it.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's it.
Sam, you said Mentos did the design or layout too for Natural Order of Things, right?
Yeah, DJ Mentos did the graphic design with the layout and everything too.
I would love to see that.
What's that?
I said I would love to see that, man, and hear it as well.
I'll go grab it real quick. I'll show you what it looks like.
Please.
And then going back to the box of Butta's Diamond and the Gold and Snake Eyes, if you got any extra 12 inches or cassettes, we would love those as well. Butta's, you have a documentary out, right? Can you tell us about that?
Yes. The documentary, my uncle a few years ago had been pressing me to put out this documentary about my life. I am proud to say that I am 7 years sober on July the 17th.
Yes.
And my documentary is about music, and it entails, the alcohol, the drug sides of it, the ups and downs. And it was just a true story about my life and how music has always played a part in my life. It was the thing that kept me going. It was pretty much my life, everything that happened in my life through music, pretty much.
Where can we see that?
It's on YouTube, the Forgotten MC documentary. It's under Fro Organix page, but if you type in the Forgotten MC documentary, you can see it there.
Yeah, pop up everywhere.
And Fro did good when I put him to work on this one. I really did.
Yes, you did. It was fun though.
Man. Yeah.
This is that.
Everything.
This is that tape, by the way.
Oh, I remember that one. Oh man.
Yeah.
Let me see it there one more time.
Yeah.
Wow. You were talking about Rockstar Charisma. He's on it too. I don't know if you probably can't read the track list and stuff, but I'll show you where you can find information online. It's got more details on it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. I definitely remember that one.
Yeah.
But is there anything else you're working on with Fro or other projects coming out that you want to promote or mention?
Yes, Fro has just dropped a YouTube series called The Producer Spit 16, and I'll let him talk a little bit more about that. We're also getting ready to on a few other tracks that we're going to drop. He's trying to get me to do one more album, but and he's being pushy about it, Fro.
One more. Just give me one more together.
Yeah, one more.
Would you guys
I'm sorry.
we were talking about your material, like on that project that Mordecai showed. Would y'all consider releasing that, like putting it out so we could hear it, stream it?
The one on the documentary?
I think no, the
Boomtown. The Boomtown, because you had a cut on the Boomtown EP, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I would have to give it those guys to see if they would do that.
Yeah. I'd like to hear that.
I'm surprised they haven't wanted to do that, but yeah, I talked to them about that.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Oh
so,
yeah.
So Butters, you've been rhyming the whole time, like on and off, like you never really put the mic down or the pen down, like you've been kind of staying sharp.
Yeah, I try, and I always say I'm not doing it no more. But you know, when it's in you, I can't help it. You know, I still write even if I'm recording because it's therapeutic. It's
like what Fro said. You know, if it's in you, it's in you. You know, you don't just you don't just stop being that. I'm not an artist, but I feel like music has always been important to me. To some people, it's just a casual thing, but if it really speaks to you, it really speaks to you.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
You can see her performances too on my page and on YouTube, because she did performances lately. She did the Forgotten MC her show for the documentary. She did that showcase for herself. That was at the RVA Boombox.
Yeah, I saw the flyer for that after the fact.
After. Yeah, we got the stuff online, so you can check her performance out, and I have other performances too that we've done shows. We've been doing shows lately as well. These showcases the last couple of years. So
I hope other people check that documentary about her. I just found out about it, so I got it on my watch list now. But so it's for if you want to find it online, I guess you search the Forgotten MC. And then I think I found out, I just put Fro at the end of it and it came up.
Okay. Yeah.
We're big vinyl heads. Is there any other vinyl stuff that y'all have done, like projects that have been pressed up? And it could just be, promos or, limited quantities. I'm just curious if there's anything else out there floating around that, I didn't find out about or know about.
The only thing that I found was I did find Baby Baby on vinyl, on like a mixed kind of vinyl thing. Which I was very surprised. I was looking for one because all I had was, from the studio, our CD and the demo tape. So
the Brandy one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that one. I think I just picked to do the CD cover because it was more visual, but
no doubt.
And then, was there anything that you did before the 12-inch? Like, did you have demo tapes or stuff that recordings before that?
We had another one, the Forgotten MC, which was it's odd because the documentary was called that, but we put out the Forgotten MC, but only on CD.
That was after.
Yeah, we did.
That was after. Got that one too, ready.
Fro's got that too. Yeah, that's some more unseen material. I bet there's no record of that online, I'm guessing.
No.
Well, I put some of the things on there, but I don't like if I was, because sometimes I try to be anonymous and just put stuff out, for the world and whoever can gain something from it. So it might be. I have to send you the link because I actually have. But completely off the subject. I do manage my daughter. She's a singer, and I brought her first piece of vinyl from her single because this generation does not know the importance and the sound of vinyl. It's like Jetsons versus Flintstone. There's no sound like vinyl. So I had that.
Not only that, but just the fact that it exists. It's a physical thing to be found. If you guys had put this music together in 2024 and it was on SoundCloud and it made a little bit of noise, somebody in 2044 would have a much harder time finding it. Right. Whereas you guys actually put a record out that somebody could come across someday later in the 2000s and wonder, what's the story with this? And it's kind of poetic the way it works out like that. Not only the sound of the vinyl, but the fact that it's a physical thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And I miss reading the credits, man. Like seeing who the producer is, seeing who the writer was, what studio they went to, who engineered it, who else was on there with them, all that, man. I mean, the pictures inside with the covers. I miss all that, man. You can't get it on on digital.
The shout outs, you know, you can see, look at the shout outs and see who who they were affiliated with. A lot of times by like who their people were, or like you said, you look at the liner notes and you look for a specific producer, or if somebody raps on this record, you automatically would buy it, or you know, things like that. And it's just, it kind of added this like this whole investment to it, or like this I don't know what you call it, just like anticipation, you know.
Right.
No doubt.
Right.
No doubt.
We're coming up on time. What does the future hold for Fro Organix, and like what can your fans expect next from like your musical journey?
So I do have an album out, which is which is crazy. I stepped out. I'm actually singing on it. I wrote it, produced it.
Wow.
All original. It's called Electric Brilliance. That's where I get the steampunk look from, really. I love steampunk stuff, but that's what Electric Brilliance is. It's a journey. It's I call it astral funk because it has a little bit of funk on it, but it's really different, melodic. I stepped out my box because I'm not an in-front person, but like I said, I wrote it, produced it. I have some singers on it as well because I'm not a great singer. I can hold a tune, but I think it's pretty cool. A cool project, something different. Just trying. Also the series that we're doing. I think that's hopefully can once again bring people together, and it's for them. It's for the artists. It's for the producers. For the artists, and hope to keep that going as well. I'm editing episode 2 now, which Butters is on actually. That could be out by August 1st. We recorded episode 3 this past weekend, and we're doing 6 episodes a year. So I'm trying to release probably every month or 2.
Is that the producer Spit 16?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay.
And where do we hear where do we hear your project, your album?
Oh, that's everywhere. It's on
So it's on Spotify or
streaming everywhere.
Oh, okay. Yep, I have 3 songs out now. Is it 3? Yeah, 3. 4 songs. I was gonna do an album, but I said I'm just gonna do singles, man. I just release singles every so often. I have two more songs on there to release as far as singles.
Okay.
But there's 4 songs out there right now. Yeah. I got a talented guy named Jose on there. He's from Richmond, plays guitar. He's played for Anthony Hamilton and stuff. He's on there playing, and my uncle's playing on there. I have 2 talented singers from Maryland. They're singing. Girl named Sage Celine and another gentleman named Jeremy. They're from Maryland. They're excellent singers, man. Excellent. They helped out a lot. Bring that album out. So
check for that.
And this we're just gonna keep music going and hip hop going, man, and keep creating and keep meeting people, trying to bring people together.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Man, I really appreciate both of you being willing to come on here and talk about this stuff. I mean, I get the vibe sometimes that people get tired of rehashing the past. Some people do. But man, that stuff, that's fascinating to me. Like I love to hear about the process.
Yeah. We gotta
doubt, man.
We can know where we're going, you know. We gotta keep up.
I appreciate you guys, man. I really do, because
thank y'all so much.
It's been a journey, so thank y'all for being interested, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
always curious, always, especially, you know, Richmond and hip hop, you know, and vinyl especially. We're always excited to talk about that. And then now it's becoming, we're kind of almost more interested in kind of like demo and like, you know, the foundations of all that, you know, for groups and like I said, the inspiration that kind of led to, you know, the creation of those things. So
and seeing where it's led you all these years later, it's still being creative is definitely an inspiration too. So I mean, I'm looking forward to checking out some of these other things too.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank
you, Fro. Thank you, Butters.
Yes, sir. Respect.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks to everybody that listened in. Peace.
Let's link, Sam. Let's link.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.